State lawmakers are taking new steps to fight counterfeit pill distribution in North Carolina.
The Senate passed the Stop Counterfeit Pills Act just yesterday. Now that bill moves to punish anyone in possession of or who sells equipment, chemicals, products, or other materials that can be used to create a counterfeit drug. Anyone convicted of violating the proposed law would face a Class 1 misdemeanor. That bill now moves to the House.
This bill comes as law enforcement sees a concerning trend connected to the mail. Officials say they're finding more deadly drugs like fentanyl being shipped right through the U.S. Postal Service. Jenna Bourne shares the loss one family's experiencing as it becomes easier for people to access deadly drugs, even unknowingly.
Why did you want to meet out here? What's so special about this place?
Well, for years and years, Ryan played soccer at these fields. I'm talking from the time he was probably 6. So these have a lot of special memories for us.
What has life been like without him?
Pretty much like the worst pain imaginable.
How did Ryan get the drugs that killed him?
He ordered them through the dark web. They would come through the U.S. Postal Service right to our house.
And what did he think he was getting?
So he ordered something similar to Xanax, and it was laced with fentanyl without him knowing, obviously. And we were able to get into his computer. My brother and I saw that last email that he had opened, and it said, "Your package has been delivered."
Ryan Cooper was one of 5,791 Floridians who died from a fentanyl overdose in 2021, the deadliest year yet. We're still waiting on 2022 overdose numbers.
The CDC says more than 2,800 North Carolinians died from fentanyl in 2021. Experts say nearly 70% of all those overdose victims have potential opportunities for interventions. That means someone could have stopped them. They were either currently in treatment, their deadly drug use was witnessed by someone, they had a mental health diagnosis, there was a potential bystander there during the overdose, they had a prior overdose, or they were recently released from an institution. Basically, 7 out of every 10 North Carolinians who died by overdose could have been saved.
In 2019, the White House's Office of National Drug Control Policy said that the U.S. mail was the most common form of distribution used to get fentanyl into its users domestically.
The chemicals are derived from China, shipped into Mexico, where the laboratories are then producing what we see as straight fentanyl powder, and or a lot of what we're starting to see are pressed pills. We see them come from areas along the border because it's easily brought into the United States from across the U.S. border and then shipped throughout the United States.
A Florida-based postal instructor says they're seeing less cases of the U.S. mail being used to bring in drugs from outside the country, but they're still seeing cases within the country's borders.
One obvious reason why the U.S. mail might be more satisfying or more helpful for drug traffickers is if I want to open a package, I need, and you're a drug dealer who has put this in the mail, and you don't want me to open that package, I need to go to a federal judge and convince them to issue a search warrant. U.S.
Postal Inspection Service data shows synthetic opioids like fentanyl seized from the U.S. mail increased tenfold in the past 5 years.
While it's possible that an increase in that could be due to something like an increase in volume of those things in the mail, much of it is also going to be attributed to us getting better at finding them and intercepting them. And I can certainly tell you, in my time with the agency, we have gotten better at it.
We're talking an increase from 211 pounds in fiscal year 2017 to 2,124 pounds in fiscal year 2022. That's about the same weight as a walrus or a polar bear or the Liberty Bell. And since the DEA says just 2 milligrams of fentanyl could kill someone, 2,124 pounds of fentanyl is enough to kill more than 481 million people. That's more than the entire U.S. population.
We have many tools in our arsenal, some that I can generally talk about. We have a pretty robust and ever more robust intelligence and analytics arm that looks at historical trends, current trends, data from many sources, including partner agencies and work that they do, that helps us target packages. And we combine that with information that we may be aware of locally to take a closer look at certain things.
This U.S. Postal Service strategy document says the Postal Inspection Service created a nationwide task force officer program during fiscal year 2020. Those task force officers are typically state and local police officers embedded with postal inspectors, providing access to local police intelligence. And that strategy document says postal inspectors now use these handheld narcotic analyzers, which allow inspectors to scan for more than 450 controlled substances without touching them. Data we crunched from the USPS Office of the Inspector General shows it opened 1,224 narcotics investigations between 2017 and 2022.
The importance level of inspecting the mail coming in, you can't really put a price on it or a level on it, because if you were to ask someone how important is it that your loved one is alive right now, that is how important it is that we are checking these packages.
What would you say to other Ryans out there right now who are ordering drugs online?
I would say you're playing with fire. You just don't know what's in there, so it's not worth the risk.
Today, a big step to help save lives from drug overdose deaths. The Food and Drug Administration approved Narcan for over-the-counter sales. The overdose reversal drug will become available over-the-counter by late summer. That change clears the way for it to be sold in places like pharmacies, convenience stores, supermarkets, even online. The coverage of over-the-counter medication, though, depends on your individual insurance plan.
For folks looking for Narcan now, there are several Narcan vending machines all across the Triad, or you can simply reach out to your local health department.